Now as for the lead, I'd say 4 stacks of it. Ooh, and it's certainly common, isn't it? Come to think of it, I have some lead already that I haven't refined. Yeah, it's here and here. So I'm going to put this in my digital miner here. Oh wow, there's like 3 different types of it. Oh, that's going to complicate things a bit, but it's nothing too difficult. Oh. So I guess, since we're looking for 4 stacks of it, I'm going to have to sort of do the math in my head. Like these 2 are already over 1 stack. And this is a whole other stack right here. Okay, so now I think we're up to 3. But we're still not quite at 4 yet. Alright. Yeah, I think that altogether is 64 stacks. Now let me just double check something. Yeah, I guess I can use it. So, now for this first phase, actually, I can complete part of it right now. Well, no, I can't. I still have to make the steel casings into reactor casings. But bottom line is I need 72 units of 72 ingots for these. Actually, it's not 72. It's, I mean, I'm rounding up here because these things come in packs of 4, so it'll be 80 of them. Of course, that also means I lowballed it a little on the steel casings. I need 2 more of those, but that's not hard. Then there's the structural glass. Now there, or the reactor glass. Now, that's going to be a bit interesting, but I'll get to that when I get to it. And now that I've got all the lead I need, let's start with this first phase here. Now let's see. This is 64, 68, but the quest asks for 69, so here you go. And that's 1 task completed. Let me go grab some more lead. I gotta smelt it. Should throw behind me. Okay, here we go. And while that's going, I'm going to assemble those ports like this. Oh, and that's another task completed. But what about the rest of it? The structural glass. That's a whole different animal. You see, it requires enriched iron, which is halfway through, which is like what you get halfway to steel, but it's not steel. Or at least it's not steel yet. Still, I've got a ways to go for that, because there, let's have a look. You need, well, 88, because these you also make in packs of 4, so 88 of lead ingots and enriched irons. I can probably swing that with the current block of lead that's, yeah, what did I say, that was 160 something or other. I should be able to pull that off. And the enriched iron, well, that's when things get a bit more complicated because, well, I've got 2 metallurgic infusers hooked up for steel production. And I'm going to have to put iron through one of them, but not the other. So I threw an unequal amount of compressed carbon into the metallurgic infusers. One of them has more than the other one does. It's not the hardest way to solve that problem. And I gotta make sure that I have at least 69 blocks of fission reactor casing. Why do I need them when I only use when I used 8 of them to make these? Well, because the 69 fission reactor casings and the 4 fission reactor ports are both needed in the structure of the reactor. I'll probably start putting this together once I have everything assembled. The casing, the ports, the glass, the safety precautions, the fuel rods, all of it. But that's not everything. A fission reactor, you have to set pretty much everything about it. You have to set all of that up in advance. That means that I wouldn't just need the fission reactor. I'd need the turbine connected too. I'd also need to connect something for the nuclear waste. Now, nuclear waste can be dealt with in one of 2 ways. Here we go. You can use it in the isotropic centrifuge to make plutonium, and the solar neutron activator to make polonium. But nuclear waste decays in a nuclear waste barrel. Polonium and plutonium don't. So you gotta set up the solar neutron activator and or the isotopic centrifuge and throw in a nuclear waste barrel for the nuclear waste, another nuclear waste barrel for the polonium, another for the plutonium, maybe another for nuclear waste if the one you've got for nuclear waste already fills up. You gotta make, because nuclear waste is surprisingly valuable in this context. We need it to make plutonium. You can't afford to have it decaying on us. Now, spent nuclear waste, yeah, we need nuclear waste barrels for that too, so that it can decay. And then, once we've sure we've got the turbine, the nuclear reactor, the coolant, well, the coolant's going to be pretty simple now that we have an aqueous accumulator. But once we've got all of that set up, only then can we start the nuclear reactor at a minimum burn rate and see what the temperature is. And we can walk that up a little. Oh, but God forbid we overestimate it and leave it running at a high temperature. It'll start taking more and more damage until eventually, well, I think I've already gone over this, but it's worth repeating. This entire area, for like 80 blocks radius, will become irradiated, and there'll be nothing left of this entire complex but a giant, smoking, fiery crater in the ground. You can check up on YouTube to see if this is true. I mean, there's this one guy who goes over all the dangers of, well, everything about these nuclear plants, including what can go wrong with them. And that's another thing. Under no circumstances can I break anything related to the nuclear reactor or anything to do with nuclear waste. If I do, I'll irradiate the area. That means that once I put a nuclear waste barrel down and it's got nuclear waste in it, I cannot pick it back up. I also can't break any of the pressurized tubes feeding the reactor, or coming from the reactor, or feeding the solar neutron activator. Yeah, once that thing's set, you gotta make absolutely sure. So anyway, the next, as I said about the fission reactor casing, the next step is 88 reactor glasses, or rather 22 sets of them. So I suppose I'll see you when I've gotten that one done. The next task should be simple afterwards. And now I've got all 88 units of lead and enriched iron. So, if I remember correctly, you put the glass in the center, lead on the sides, the enriched iron in the corners, and there we go. Huh! Looks like I completed another task that was only 24 reactor glass. That, I think, is... I don't think we're up to that yet. But this is what I was really looking for. I'll just put this back. I'll take these out. And an epic Mekanism loot bag consisting of, an ultimate tier installer. And some redstone for infusion. And that's 5,120 millibuckets. That's sort of an odd number to have, but still, at least, or maybe it isn't so odd and I'm missing something, but at least it's something I can use instead of just being used for making stone into for making cobblestone into mossy cobblestone. Alright, so the next task is 2 fission reactor logic adapters. Bit of a tongue twister, but whatever. And there. That's both of them. Now pay close attention to what I get in return. Gravel, an overseer, a piston, and some redstone. Why this exactly? Well, it's because there is a failsafe for reactors, which, let's see what the description has to say about it. History has shown us time and time again that a safety-first approach is the only same way to work with something as dangerous as nuclear physics. 3 Mile Island may have been a disaster. Actually, Chernobyl was even worse. But the fact that nobody died is a testament to the importance of safety protocols. With that said, it's worth the effort to build some safety systems into a Mekanism fission reactor as well. And then there's the thing about the wiki and circuit breakers. And I think I've already covered what happens if the reactor is supercritical. I mean, in real life, if a meltdown just involves the core melting down and radiating the surrounding area rather than actually exploding, but anything connected with a nuclear reactor getting into it, like a steam boiler, for example, will explode. Therefore, the circuit breaker should trigger on high temperature. And then there's another circuit breaker for excess waste. Yeah, if the waste barrel fills up and there's nowhere for it to go, then it'll irradiate the area too. And now for the fuel rod assembly. Okay, that's a lot of basic chemical tanks and control rod assemblies. Well, control rod assemblies shouldn't be too difficult. I've probably got the lead and steel for it already, so I'm going to take these casings. Note that there are 70 of these. I've got some margin. Fission reactor port. And the safety apparatus. I don't remember offhand exactly how you're supposed to build the thing. because it doesn't really tell you. It just says go to the wiki, and you can't really go to the wiki when you're filming something, right? So, oh yeah, and there's this. I've been electrolyzing water because I noticed I'm starting to run. I'm halfway through one of these in the purification chamber. So let's do the control rod assemblies first. You only need 5 of them. That's 5 elite control circuits. If I remember correctly, yeah, I thought so. And I do have some. Actually, you know what I might want to do? I've got a. I've got the pressurized tubes right here. I built another metallurgic infuser here. So I suppose what I could do is configure it so that the infusion can be input in the bottom. Configure this so that the infusion can go out the top. Ah, yeah. Okay, now I've still got this thing running, producing some iron here. Yeah, here's some. I'll have to use these for... Actually, that infuser was pretty slow, wasn't it? But... Alright, so how many do I need? I need 6 of these. At least for now I need... actually, no, I need more than... I need 6 bits of iron and 4 of osmium. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are for upgrading the pressurized tubes from basic to ultimate. I'm going to need to do that because I don't want to take chances with bottlenecks as far as coolant is concerned. Or as far as steam is concerned. Come to think, they gotta upgrade some mechanical pipes too. I gotta put that in this backpack as sort of a reminder. I do have mechanical pipes here. Yeah, here we go. Then maybe 32 apiece, I guess? I'm not sure. I haven't exactly gamed this out completely. But I know enough to know that I'm going to need a lot of pipes and pressurized tubes. Actually, since you need infused alloy to make reinforced alloy, I am going to need another 10 units of iron. You know, I might just round that up to 12. And then to keep things even... Wait a minute. I don't actually need 12. I got reinforced alloy left over from something here, so I can use that. Hang on a minute. There we go. Yeah, when all is said and done, that should be enough. I'd hate to have to waste... I'd hate to end up wasting iron and making it into a fused alloy that I don't really need. The other half of this, though, is 30 fission fuel assemblies. And that means 30 gas tanks. I never thought you'd actually see that many gas tanks at once, right? Let me just consolidate these things for a bit, because I'm going to use one of these backpacks I got hanging around, and I'll put it in here. There. So 30 times 4. is 120. 120 redstone. Did I factor that in? I don't think I did, actually. Okay, 9 times 20 is 180, so that's too much. It's 90, 99, 108. That ought to be enough. There. So to reiterate what I'm doing, we need 30 basic chemical tanks. I don't know, maybe I just forgot to write it in. Before I do this, though, I need, let's see, 2 diamonds. And take them up here. Enrich them. And then run the rest of these through the metallurgic infuser. And that's how you make elite control circuits. Or reinforced alloys, I mean. The elite control circuits are made like this. Voila. And voila. And now, for the fuel rod assemblies, you need lead and steel. And I don't have lead. I need lead. Fortunately, I mined some. I'm just going to grab it out of the digital miner here. Yeah, these two together should have to make 63. So this thing is actually, the problem with doing it this way is it doesn't really divide evenly into 3, and it has to when using the chemical injection chamber, because it takes 3 at a time. There we go. That's a multiple of 3. There's like a bit left over. I have to use the digital miner and dig out some more, though, just in case. So I'll put this in here. That way, when it runs out of iron shards to process, it'll get started on the lead. Although I do have to be there when it... come to think of it, how much is in that enrichment chamber now? Well, not much, but still, I gotta clear it. So I can't make the control rods yet, but I can start making... Oh, hang on. There we go. As I said, I can start making the fission fuel assemblies. I thought there were fuel rods there for a minute. So I'm going to go and make 30 basic gas tanks, which comes as a surprise to me too. Look at this, I can't store them all. But that's why I'm putting them in here. That's what, 12? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, yeah, 12. 12 minus 30 is 30 minus 12 is 18. There's basic gas tanks again. Okay. That belongs over there. So that's 18 plus. Let's say 21, 24. Yeah. Okay, just 6 more to go, and there. Done. And after that, you need the, well, more lead. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll refine the rest of the lead. Then I'll get back with you once I have.